Definitely. I feel like a lot has changed, not just personally, in the sense that how I approached martial classes when I was a freshman and a sophomore, and I was, more on an exploring route, always trying out like marketing classes, a few finance classes, and I wasn't sure which is the path that I kind of want to head to. So the way that it's kind of changed is that now I know what my focus is. I'm kind of more heading towards the, sorry about this.
No worries.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of more heading towards the finance, the strategy route, and I have that clarity because of the independence, the flexibility that business schools offer to you, especially if it's a business administration degree and not a focused finance major or a marketing major. So I personally have fallen in love with my finance classes at Marshall. The professors are extremely renowned in the finance industry, and they provide amazing expertise and also give you career direction. So I'm loving that, considering my father also has a finance company back at home. So it's always been something that I'm interested in learning about. And mostly I would say what's changed is that first 2 years, you're always just, this, you're kind of just in that exploring phase, while in your junior year and your senior year, I was way more focused in understanding the intricacies of finance and digital entrepreneurship, which is what my minor is, and kind of getting hands-on experience in those fields while also doing internships. That's kind of what my focus has been.
Fantastic. I think let's go deeper into both these areas, which is finance and digital entrepreneurship. Aren't we all now becoming digital natives and also figuring out things? So what is this minor? I'm very curious to know how it's designed and what students should know about it when they apply to USC.
Yeah, sure. So when I was in my sophomore year, everyone around me was picking different minors. And being a business student, I was always curious to learn more on the technical side, that what are the more technical skills that I can build, considering business is more on the soft skills side. And everyone was choosing minors like applied analytics and data science and computer science. I was always curious about those, but I wasn't too sure if I want to do coding. So I thought, let me look at Viterbi School of Engineering and see what all minors they're offering. And one was called Innovation and Digital Entrepreneurship. And I was like, okay, wow, that sounds unique, especially because I'd heard of these courses being offered at Stanford and Yale. So I kind of wanted to know what's, inside it. So I started my journey with enrolling in the minor and took a few courses at Viterbi with Marshall combined, because as the name is there, a few classes are at Viterbi School of Engineering and a few classes are at Marshall School of Business on the entrepreneurship side. And you kind of, every class teaches you how you can create a startup with a team and how you launch the startup. So you learn how to prototype it, you learn different skills like Figma and how you're kind of supposed to work with investors in your team to come up with an idea and actually implement it and execute it. And mostly the professors for these classes are VCs themselves. So they've already worked on their startups and now they're kind of looking forward to help students like us accelerate our careers. So it's been pretty interesting so far, and I have about 3 more classes left this semester.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty interesting minor to be part of. It also probably adds up to some of your STEM points when you're looking at graduating with a STEM degree. Finance, numbers, analyses, following the news, all of that and much more. So what was your idea when you started thinking about finance initially, and what it actually entails? Like what kind of classes do you do and what expertise do you develop for being career ready in finance?
Definitely. I don't know if you remember, but when I used to be brainstorming with you about my essays for college, I used to kind of tell you that I'm really interested in business, but then I'm intimidated by numbers. And you used to tell me that, Vanya, if you're part of the business field, you have to, learn numbers as well. So don't be intimidated by it, but go and try it out, explore it. And college is very different from the school textbook sort of math. And finance, like you said, is definitely numbers. And the first class I took was corporate financial strategy, and I was scared, that will I be able to do this? I needed my GPA also, but at the same time, I wanted to learn how is it like to understand financial formulas and the Wall Street and the markets. And I ended up taking it, and I actually really enjoyed it. And it didn't end up becoming as intimidated because the professors are so hands-on. They do the problem sets with you. They make you understand the concept that you don't have to memorize anything. And the math is only a part of it, while it's the concepts of finance that kind of involve you hands-on. So I've taken a few very interesting classes like valuations, which actually I took last semester, and it's by far been my favorite class at Marshall. It's a finance class. It's supposed to be one of those higher electives that kids are very intimidated to take because it's heavy numbers, heavy Excel modeling, but it kind of teaches you exactly how to value a company. And when you're thinking of doing mergers and acquisitions, then how is it like to understand what the value of a company is like? So I found it pretty interesting. And like I touched upon in the beginning, my father is a wealth manager himself, and he's heavy into finance, so he's always kind of pushed me to learn finance, and this kind of was a great step. And now I'm trying to look at more finance courses at Marshall to see how I can kind of learn better.
Okay, great. Now we're going to move to other segment, which is helping viewers understand life after college and how students plan for it. What resources are available at Marshall? What have you done personally to sort of build on career readiness skills briefly, and then touch upon this, and then explain what your future, what you hope your future can be when you're a graduate.
Definitely, I feel like from the resources side, if I can first touch upon that, the Marshall Career Center and the Marshall Courses Advising Center is extremely helpful because they've had so much experience, different students, and students like me who come in confused about what they want to do, and then helping us kind of navigate through courses and how we can use those courses through our internships and full time as well. They've been very helpful when I set up appointments with them to talk to them about, what are the perfect classes for me to take while also maintain my GPA. They help me understand which classes might boost my GPA more, which professors would be great for the kind of career I'm wanting to head to. So those have been great resources. And at the same time, I feel like the ones that have helped me the most are my peers and my friends through organizations. So the organization I'm part of, Marshall Women's Leadership Board, there are so many amazingly talented business students along with me. And some of them are upperclassmen, some of them are lowerclassmen. They've all had, they've all been in the same boat as me. So kind of talking to them about my journey and them telling me, these courses are very good, this professor is very good. And just talking to people, I feel like has been the biggest step for me in college. It always gives me a different perspective, and I highly recommend that. And I think was there another part of the question?
Yeah, the future. Like what do you wish to do next after you graduate?
Yeah, definitely. So I've mostly been interested on like the strategy side of business, which are all these strategy roles that a lot of corporate companies and consulting companies offer. While at the same time, I really am trying to understand finance and investments more because I do want to help my dad scale his business back at home and also maybe take it globally. So I am trying to kind of navigate my career on both the strategy and finance side of things and business development. So all my roles that I'm applying for, the companies that I'm looking at are on that front. Even the previous internship I did at a biotech company called Amgen was a finance and strategy based internship. And that kind of taught me that, okay, it's really interesting to be on the numbers side, but also use those numbers to create a strategy for a company. So that's kind of the path that I'm heading towards.